Hello YouTube fans, here again. And what's in the basket? A damn good movie with you. That's what's in the basket. That being the movie Basket Case. Say it again, Basket Case. I'm going to wipe some shit off my face. Came out in 1981 and it's a good one. From 1981, Basket Case. What can I say about Basket Case? It's a good one. Now, this was a sort of cheap budget movie. Normally, cheap budget movies are a bit, but this one was a good one. Originally in 4:16 format and was blown up in a Weinstein format. But you can definitely see in some of the film as it's very bloated and very blown up. But it's a good one. It is a good one because it starts off where you see this guy and he's whinging for help. He's sort of like a doctor. Next thing you see his face got all cut up, ripped open, really bloodthirsty, really gruesome. And that's what it is. It's sort of like a revenge and sort of like another film rolled into one. So at first, you've got this young lad. You don't see the thing in the basket. You got an idea there's something in the basket. You see some sound effects, an hand keeping a toss. And one thing I do love about Basket Case, one thing I love about it is it has a lot, and I mean a lot, of stop motion. How I miss those golden days of stop motion effects. How I miss them golden days. And the lad falls in love. He's got a brother called Delisle, and you find out why it's revenge. It's also Matthew Fast parts when he's a kid, right? And you've got the idea he's born deformed, where he's got a twin. And you know, like you get twins that are joined together, he has a deformed twin. And you get the idea that the mother dies and the father doesn't like it. And he pays for his doctors to remove the twin, who's the one who's deformed, the monster looking one, and they stick it in a bag, a plastic bag. But it breaks out, and you get the idea he kills the father, and the Janma fosters him. But then when the Janma dies, he moves away, gets a fortune, and he moves in a bed and bee breakfast place. It's not a serious film. You don't really take it serious, but it's dark. And the director, if I remember rightly, brought out a lot of other well-known horror movies, whether it be Brain Damage, whether it be Basket Case 2, the third one. He bought a load, and I mean bloody loads, of these type of horror films out. And you can definitely see they're definitely messed up. They're definitely fucked up. And this is one of them. It's definitely a fucked up movie. It's definitely fucked up. So what it is, he's a lot older and he's getting revenge and he's killing all the surgeons and doctors who had cut his brother. You know what I mean? It's like a revenge. That's what I mean by it's a revenge film. And the lad to that, who is thinking called Darius, he falls in love with this girl. My mate, she wears a stupid wig. You can tell she's wearing a wig. And he falls for her. You know what I mean? It's like a love story as well as an emotional story. But there are some pretty good gruesome deaths in it. And I mean gruesome deaths. There's a scene where a guy gets cut in half. There's a scene where he's in the cinema. I don't think nobody gets killed here, but some dickhead nicks the plastic and he gets his face cut open. Really good gruesome scene here. But the best bit is this fucking nurse. There's this horrible nurse, really big said. I always wondered when I watched the film. If she was blind, because she's having for the film, she's like that. And she's just staring at the camera like she can't see what the fuck she's doing. Seriously, she looks like she's fucking blind as a bat. But anyway, so short, they find out she's a veterinarian. You know, them that work on animals, or anyhow, but someone who works my fucking dog and doesn't stop barking. And she's a veterinarian. So what he does is he comes in, sews his shirt open because he's got like a bit of scar when they removed his brother. And she knows it's him and she calls him a freak. Not a nice word, but that's what she calls him. Lo and behold, the brother comes out, makes a mess out of her face. You see the after shots of her having those staples all over her face. For some reason, she falls down fucking dead. How, I don't know, because all it did was mess her fucking face up. But for some reason, she's got all staples in her face. She's steaming, and she falls down brown fucking bread. How? I don't fucking know. But anyway, so he kills all the doctors and surgeons, so you think he's going to get away with it. Now, I do know originally there was a cut scene in the film of Plastic Taste. There was a cut scene where he's having a weird wet dream, where he's running around in Manhattan with his dingaling hanging out. And he's not being dirty minded. He runs out with his dingaling hanging out. And I didn't know originally it was a cut scene. Happy to say you can now see it in its uncut format. And I do know the history of the film. They shot this where it was in a van and the actor was stick naked and they had him running, obviously midnight when nobody was around over there, and they had him running from one side of the street to the other, one fan there, another fan there, one where he can run, jump into the next fan before somebody sees him with his dingling hanging out. And that was how they pulled the scene off. So it's like every scene. He definitely wasn't shy at that scene when he's running around with his birthday suit. Well, he's having this red team. You've got the idea that Tyrannus, the Queen Buffer, that looks like a monster. And again, there's a lot of beautiful stop motion here and there. There's a scene where he's fucking dickhead started breaking to rob the apartment. Big mistake. He gets to do some death. And you got this one woman. You got the idea she's a prostitute who ties on with Darius. He's funny enough, he's in roughly all of these Plastic Taste films. But he falls for this woman, and you got the idea that Darius kills the woman. You got the idea he's raping her and he's going down there. You do see the aftershots of her, you got the idea he killed her. But there's a funny bit where you see blood down there. So you got the idea, did he bite anything down there? Did he damage anything? It feels a bit like a video nasty at that point. You know, he's pulling him off and he killed the poor woman. He feels bad. And he's using his temper saying, she's not, she wasn't someone, she was innocent and I loved her. But then the buffer, the evil buffer, the farm one, jumps out, tags him by his good ass. They both fall out of a window. And this is what got me, because they made a second one, they made a third one. In my eyes, I don't think there was even going to be pan to be made. Money talks, so they decided to make a sequel. Because what happens is, they both fall. Denial, the evil, deformed, monster-looking buffer, his brains are all over the fucking floor. You got the idea that the other one, he's fall down, they're both fucking dead. And it ends as an emotional music to the ending, and it ends. So I think in my eyes, they were both dead. But then when the sequel got made, a couple of days after, a lot of days after, they decided, as money talks, to put some more money into it and make out they were both in a fucking coma. Very long fucking coma. But they was both in a fucking coma, and that's what happened. But in reality, the story was they were both dead, they both had their brains smashed out, they both fell to their doom, the end of the fucking movie. But I don't mind Plastic Taste. I even like the sequels. Granted, were they as gruesome, were they bloodthirsty as number one? No, but I still think they were good. Again, I like the fact they use a lot of stop motion in it. I like the fact that he's telling the story to a prostitute, and at first he thinks he's joking, and then he realises he ain't joking. You got the idea that she's in the bedroom, and the farm buffer has to touch her up a bit, and she screams through bloody murder. Doesn't kill her though, because she's in the other ones. And I think right, they could be right in one. She made a test appearance in number 2, and she sort of played a different role in number 3. But I don't mind Plastic Taste is what it is. I can understand if it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's definitely a hard film to watch, you know what I mean? But it's an interesting film. So I can understand if Plastic Taste isn't your taste of film. But in my eyes, it's not a bad type of horror film. It's a cheap budget horror movie. But I love the fact they use stop motion. A very hard effect they don't use anymore. They use practical effects. They used a lot of, it really was balls to the falls. It was bloodthirsty, it was gruesome, didn't fuck around in the blood and door. It was a revenge, it was a love story, it was a sad story at the end. Until they made the sequel. And so on. Until then, I've gone for some more movies, more movie reviews. Into them. Be smart, be safe. I'll see you later.